So, okay, so here we have an object that resembles a chair.
Is it a chair though?
Well, to look at it, you believe it could be, but I'm not too sure.
No, it's a chair.
We have a few things to really unpick here, which I'm quite looking forward to delving into. We could start with the upholstery.
I think the texture of this material they've used, which is some sort of hardware and woven fabric, maybe either linen, cotton or plastic, is an interesting choice, is it not? This bit's really rough, it sort of reminds me of a cat's tongue.
Yeah.
The materials used here are juxtaposing the very functionality of the chair. The chair is made for comfort, and yet you're touching this dry, wizened surface that has probably seen better days.
It is making me think of Mark Thorpe's husk chairs, actually, and I'm wondering whether or not this is an attempt to recreating that design. I mean, it works to an extent with the added base element and the slightly altered angles, but I think we just have to be aware of treading the line of the replica.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, definitely. This bit here, it looks as if it's had some sort of bite taken out of it. It seems to be revealing the chair's innermost dark secrets. Underneath this slightly itchy exterior, you've got some sort of raw chipboard.
Yeah, I feel like it has a real potency to it.
But who would sit on a chair that someone has chewed? What lies within the cavity of the chair?
These frayed edges are like eyelashes and space in the middle is like an eye. Is the eye looking back at us whilst we're observing it? There's something intriguing. Tadashi Kawamata uses the chair as one element. I mean, I might be misspelling or mispronouncing his name there. Creating these vast sculptures, these chair highs that are imposing, striking, and beyond any kind of feat that anyone could make with a single object.
What's caught my eye is a signature on the base. Who is Patrick Pink? An artist that comes to mind is Marcel Duchamp and his urinal.
Let's move on to this next piece of work here. We have a cylindrical sculpture displayed on some sort of plinth. Its form and materials are simple and sort of lo-fi. It has a constitutional quality to it.
How is that so?
Well, that's for you to decide.
Is this a container for something?
I think this is commenting on the use of space. It is an object that contains space and is also surrounded by space. The materials are dividing the air around it.
Sorry, can we just go back to this area here? Where the creases are at the bottom, where it's interacting with the plinth. I'm interested in how the dents were made, whether or not they were conscious decisions or not.
Here we have some form of mark making on the top. Is this a trace of the history of the object? It looks weathered, it looks used. It looks like a cup.
Yeah.
What I'm really confused about is why they decided to present this alongside a foam peanut.
That is an odd choice. Maybe it's part of a participatory aspect of the work.
So what would happen if I went over and picked it up to have a play with it?
I mean, yeah. Is this Patrick Pink's cup? I think there is more to be explored here, but I mean, we've got to move on because I'm conscious of time. But I feel like we should come back to this and sort of really unpick what's going on here.
This naturalistic, ambiguous, mundane, slightly ambivalent texture you've got going on here.
No, that's just my wallet. This undeniably is a toothbrush. You can't get toothbrushier than a toothbrush, fact. Now, a toothbrush's primary function to clean one's teeth, this whole concept has been compromised. It's been exposed to the elements. There are hairs and traces of toothpaste all over it.
Yeah, but I really want to talk about the contrast of colours here.
Right.
Blue is considered beneficial to the mind and body. It slows down human metabolism and produces a calming effect.
Okay, yeah.
No, I don't think that's an important aspect of the piece. I'm more inclined to explore the reasoning behind the mechanics of the hinge.
P. Dustin McNeil, I think, created the trifold multi-purpose toothbrush, and this piece looks like a cheap knockoff, to be fair.
This could be considered as a ready-made, whether unconventional state, because these objects, to an extent, haven't been modified, and yet we are finding the artist's trail throughout the object.
Yeah, I mean, found object art.
Yeah, where you have an object that has a non-art function, which is then modified in varying ways. I mean, again, Marcel Duchamp is a prime example.
You know, Picasso too. Here we have an assemblage of chairs.
Have we been influenced by Phila de Barlow here? There seems to be a striking structural similarity to her work. With the use of plywood, cardboard, other found materials, she creates large-scaled, invasive sculptures that often have complex compositions, like this one here.
Yeah, and there's also a slight tension to this piece. There's sort of a slight conversation going on here between each easel. Each one's holding another one up, much like you do on the bar at Friday night in Big Market.
You have text here as well, chairs only. I mean, Magritte with his well-known Cinepound pipe.
Yeah, this is not a pipe.
This is not a pipe. So he's saying there that his paintings are just representations of the object in question. So here we have easels being substituted for chairs, but in our minds we already know that this is a lie.
Back to the idea of the mark making. Here on the wall, you get a sense of urgency to how it has been made. Like the long, quick strokes that are spaced out as if it's rushed, and the use of capitals really emphasise the idea of the text. Chairs only.
Well, I feel all the pieces we've looked at, we've had an invitation to interact with them in certain aspects. I sort of want to twiddle the wing nuts.